And we are going into this.
When are we starting? We're starting soon?
We're starting in like 3 seconds.
Okay, I was just going to say, it's nice to have all of us together. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. You're listening to Runescape Weekly for 11/24/2017. I'm your host, Magebit, with over 16 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Pernasius, the RR Man, and DX the LB. And on today's show, Premier Club is here, Pantheon Aura Fix, the Pantheon Aura Whiners, Reclaim Death Issues, Hellion Workaround, Skull holding Divine-o-matic, new scam on Facebook, and stupid question of the month. Thank you for tuning into this edition of RuneScape Weekly, and enjoy the show. Welcome back for your Friday edition of RuneScape Weekly. Magebit here, sort of. I am not in the best of health, but I'm hanging in there. We have Pernasius, who's going to be pretty much helping me out here, and I'm going to try and be a third kind of seat type individual, so I'm going to try and not overstrain my throat here. That's what she said. Wow, Magebit, what the hell is wrong with you? See, I'm a mess. I don't deserve to be here. I'm just, I don't exist. And with that, Pern, why don't you just take it away? Get me out of here.
It is Pernasius the Unemployed, taking over the reins a bit today, but Mage will be sitting there to make sure that the thunder from down under in myself, DX, and RR Man do keep a little bit of a rein on it. But,
I'll try.
You know when it's us three that things do happen sometimes. So I apologise in advance.
I just want to know. I just want to know how you got that title of the Unemployed. How do you get that in the game?
You do your back at work, and then you wait until it's a month till Christmas, and they fire you. So,
what he doesn't want to tell
really
you
wonderful.
is you actually just have to have at least like 10,000 hours plus in game, and then you get the title.
I was gonna say that.
So yes, for those of you who don't know, obviously my back problems are out there with the fans all knowing about it, but work finally retrenched me yesterday, so I was made redundant. So basically, for the next few months, I'm going to be a full-time RuneScaper, so you'll be hearing a lot more of me on the podcasts now.
You know, instead of making you redundant, they could have just made you recumbent, and it would have probably fixed a lot of the problems in the first place. Just, lay you out right side or fix your back. All right, I'm done.
Man, why does everyone have to just take the piss out of DX? Pernasius, you came along and you've taken the backbreaker title from him. This is so unfortunate.
Name breaker, not backbreaker.
Will DX ever get the title?
I don't think DX will ever get the backbreaker title.
Well, the way he's been bowling lately. And anyway, speaking of backbreaking and bowling, how have you been, DX?
What a great segue. Doing good. I've been doing the Clue Scroll series live streaming, which is a lot of fun. I did a couple earlier on today, but with the game update that happened this week, man, half my bloody icons were bloody disappearing on my inventory.
Yeah, there's been a few issues this week. People couldn't make urns. I was one of those. A lot of things weren't opening up, icons disappearing and such. So, obviously, it's hopefully something to do with all the mobile stuff that they're doing, and they're just getting it all sorted out before they actually release it and break the game on us. So, rather have it for a day or two now than sort of they release mobile and it's going to, but it's working okay on mobile, so we're just going to loan for you until we got all the people worked out there from.
They'll ruin the game for desktop users so they can get all those new mobile users.
That's it. So, yeah, when I said, it looks like, they were talking that they were going to release OSRS before RS3, but the way they're going, I think they may actually have changed their mind and doing it together. So,
yeah, it got delayed again, right? Like, they're kind of unsure.
got delayed, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they have woken up and thought, well, hang on, OSRS doesn't have MTX.
I think you're
RS3 does. So let's get
I think
RS3
you're giving
out
Jagex
there
too much
first.
credit. I think they're just bad at development.
Oh, come on. They've had a bad year.
Floyd is now Panasius
Dimension of the Damned.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot to put a dimension of the damn. I had a couple posts from DX that I forgot to.
So did they. And also joining us, obviously, is the RO man after that little interlude there. How are you going, man?
Oh, well, I'm not as salty as I should be about it, man. That was a horrible day. Getting
Listen.
up early in the morning and not being on the game for, what, an hour it was delayed. And then
I think it was about an hour when it was delayed.
yeah, it was fun times.
You
But at
should have
least I
saw
had the guys to chat with.
Should have saw poor Hannah's perspective.
Oh, yeah, I still feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
No, from what I hear, because it was delayed, they actually started the servers at the time it was supposed to, and that gas that was, or the mist that was going to be wiping everyone out, was actually creeping in. They hadn't actually reset that, so when people spawn, they spawned inside the mist. It's like, hello, goodbye.
Yeah, those stupid idiots forgot to carry the one.
Yeah, they forgot to press the reset button. Like,
Wait, is that, wait, Hank, that makes full sense. Is
Yeah.
that actually
Yes.
true?
That's why.
Yeah. That's actually what happened.
That's
They
insane.
started the server. They forgot to hit reset to reset the mist. So the mist had actually it was
Oh my
an hour.
God.
it was
into the game,
desynced,
so
basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So that's
Jeez,
It's
you
in-
just
that's
blew
why a
my-
lot of people
that
got wiped
just
out.
blew my mind.
It's in the
That answers
documents
every
that
question.
I sent Mage earlier.
It does answer.
That's insane. Although it doesn't answer the question why the mist was fucking invisible. Excuse my language.
Well, because it was
We just got
desynced from the
demonetized
server.
this week.
Yeah.
It was desynced from the server, so it physically existed as an object on the server side, but not the client side. The client side was showing different information than what was actually there, but server rules. So, you know, when the server was like, no, there's actually miasma here, the client was like, oh shit, well then you're dead.
Wait, so wait, you're telling me they actually got the programming right? They just
Yes.
messed up the starting. Wow,
It would
that
be-
is
yeah.
so
Yeah.
unfortunate.
When they delayed it, they just forgot to hit the reset button. That's all they forgot to hit the
wow.
reset.
Think of it
button.
literally like starting two different stopwatches at the same time, or at different times, but expecting the same result. You know, like that.
Wow. I actually
Maybe
kind of
you-
feel. I kind of feel sorry for them now.
You know what I'm thinking, guys. I think it was like at one end of the Jagex building, like it's an hour ahead in real life, and then you go back to the other side of the building, and it's like an hour behind, and they forgot to turn that one back, you know, or forward.
They
Yeah,
shouldn't. They shouldn't have had the game servers in two different parts of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. The treasure hunter
Yeah,
team's
both in
always an hour
Cambridge.
ahead.
So yeah, so that was a little bit of an issue there. So you and DX, obviously, we have on who were in it. From what you did play, what did you think of it?
Apart from the miasma disaster, it wasn't that bad.
Because you got a fair way into it, didn't you? You played for a while.
Yeah, that was the one thing that really bugged me. You know, there was a 4-week delay between the qualifier and the finale, and then when the finale came around, that was an extra hour bloody delayed.
I already waited 4
Oh.
weeks.
DX was not happy.
No, I wasn't happy. I was like, as soon as I realized it was going to be delayed for 4 weeks, I was like, all right,
I think
us all the pets.
all right, out of Hannah, the R-Man, and DX, I think you can tell how the competition was run when DX was the one who lasted the longest.
Wow.
Hannah was out. Hannah was out right at the start. I was in the middle, as per usual, and somehow DX was the best.
Yeah, but see, I
it is a shame, but yeah.
do you remember what position you qualified in, man, originally?
Oh, about 800 something probably at the end of the day.
No, I qualified in 501st. I knew pretty much where I wanted to be, where I should have gone straight away, but unfortunately, because of that miasma splat everywhere, that wasn't going to happen. So I had to change the area where I had to spawn, where I had to hang out. and unfortunately, it worked for a little while, but unfortunately, it was overrun pretty quick.
Yeah, I had a plan. I had it all sorted out.
Yeah.
To be honest, right now, my rage is building a little bit.
I think it was it you, Armin, who said I think you said was the only real winner was Pernasius for staying the hell away from this.
Yep,
Yes,
that was exactly my words. Yep, Pernasius was the winner, as he did not even try.
Nah. I mean, unfortunately,
there was 51. I think it was like 51 or 52 people who weren't in a qualifying position. They managed to sneak into the game, into the finale.
This is true.
Wow.
Yeah. There was just no checks apparently in place for a little while, as far as
they just logged straight in.
Yep.
Yeah. So what happened is there was 499 people in the game when the finale kicked off. 52 of those people, 51 or 52 of those people were not legitimate players. And I think it was like 120 or 130 people got insta-killed by the miasma. So that was 30% of the bloody tournament, just like that.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Well, we were pretty right, Mage. We said there'd be about 500 odd show up after that amount of time. So.
Yeah.
Confirmed number, was it? 500 or so?
499 was the confirmed number.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is about what I expect. I reckoned about half of them wouldn't show up once it was delayed that long. So
yeah, I was saying about 60% weren't going to show up, so I wasn't far off.
It's funny because the Gizmodo article or the Kotaku article or whatever says 1,000 RuneScape players fight to the death in a zombie horde game mode, and I'm like, clearly they didn't watch the actual event.
I heard there was a few people complaining about the way the mods were talking about the players too. Was there some sort of issue there?
Raven was laughing at people when when everyone started to get mauled. The only person
it would have been funny if the game
realized that something was going on was Mod Mohawk, because as soon as she saw people starting to die in the dozens straight away, the look on her face was like, "Oh shit, something's gone major wrong here."
And then
Mod Raven's just sitting there pissing himself laughing.
Well, that's Mod Raven. I mean,
also, I don't know if Mod Raven even knew what was going on I think he just thought that was supposed to happen, and I think a lot of the people on the couch also didn't know what the hell was going on, and they were laughing because they assumed that's how the game was supposed to be played, but in reality, everything was going, very wrong.
So what you're saying is the people on the couch weren't the people that had programmed the actual...
The people...
No, Mohawk program. Mohawk
that's probably why she...
Yeah, that's why she was the one freaking out.
Panicking. Yeah.
I listened to it for a little while, but I just had to mute it because it was... To be quite honest, it's quite insulting, to be honest.
Yeah, at one point, Mod Mohawk, and shout out to Mod Mohawk because I appreciate any scrap of attention skillers can get, but she's like, listen... I'm a skiller. That was one of her defenses on the live stream. Was I'm a skiller. I don't even do combat. Which I think did she even want to make this game mode, or was this just something that she was kind of told to make?
It was half developed. I think they sort of said, okay, we're doing this, and they probably dragged, because they wanted to get it done, they probably dragged a lot of people in to try and get it ready by that Halloween date that they set themselves.
Yeah, I want to know.
And this is the problem. They keep setting themselves dates that are unattainable, and this is what happens. And it's unfortunate because they really did need a big win. And it's just
they did not get it.
No.
They did not.
That finale was the equivalent of a dumpster fire.
A for effort. And it was an A+ dumpster fire, I might add, just to be a little bit positive.
Yeah. What? I mean, if you're going to mess up spectacularly, it was
I had fun. I had fun. Good.
You had fun listening to us.
Yeah, be miserable.
I've had a lot of fun just reading all the stuff about it.
It was great being in the audience, for sure. I would have probably hated being a part of the event, though. So, thank you for your service.
It did great for my sociopathic tendencies. So.
I just felt sorry for Hannah that she didn't deserve that.
No,
That was-
Yeah.
None of
she
those
basically
players
ran.
did.
She basically ran into the miasma. Or
It's
whatever
the
that
equivalent
thing is,
of stepping
got
on a mine,
destroyed.
right? Like you're
Yeah.
you're 3 feet out of the armed personnel carrier, and you're the first person to step on a frickin' anti-personnel mine. Is what that is.
I'm not one to make excuses, but I ran in there as well. I ended up on about a quarter of my health. Ran
Yeah.
out, had to eat all my food, and then I'm running into the cabbage patch, picking up the cabbages, trying to heal myself.
Never have I
And
seen.
I literally, and you were watching, and then I literally died because I think one of those big zombies exploded.
Yeah.
But it must have been either off screen or it had the glitch where it was invisible,
Yeah.
and I was just gone. I didn't. Even
I was
see
just
what
watching
actually
you
killed me.
running back and forth, like you looked like you got rubber banded in by a monster. Like it
Yeah.
looks like you ran and then your character got attacked and it ran back and then you ran back again and then you were dead. Like it didn't make any sense. But
It was
it was just chaos. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I did see the
mm.
miasma. I did see it, but then again, I didn't have the fog on. So I suppose if I had the fog on, I wouldn't have been able to see it.
Yeah, DX only died because he just was chilling surrounded by 3 towering behemoth zombies
Yeah,
and
there
just
was no way out.
and except for like north, east, south, and west. But yeah,
DX is just playing like DX and died.
And it's
Oh,
just
thanks.
That was just incredible because DX is running around. He was overpowered. He was running around in his dragon armor, and he still got knocked out.
Hey,
Turn it up, you clown.
if there had been a clue scroll there, he would have gone all the way.
Oh shit!
when they rework clue scrolls, like having a clue scroll like competition would be amazing.
Oh, I am hanging out for that.
I am
So,
pretty excited.
'cause since this wasn't really a part of the topic, let's end this conversation on. Do you think they're gonna do this again next year or not?
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
I
Yep.
believe they will, but I think a lot of people that were involved in this finale are probably not going to even bother, qualifying, or not even bother trying to qualify after what happened.
See, I didn't bother
I'll try it
qualifying in
next
the
time.
first
Yeah.
one because I figured the
Yeah.
first one would be bad.
Yes.
It's like
I'm always the first one. There's always going to be glitches and things. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything this
Bad.
this severe for them.
yeah.
But yeah, I'll never try on the first one for that very reason. And I mean, it's unfortunate that it was such a spectacular disaster. But they've now got 12 months to get it all lined out, to get it all fixed up, to make sure things are all done properly, and iron it all out. And as I've said all along, it should have been the Halloween event this time around, and then bring it back as a competition later on. But anyway, let's.
I just want to
Sorry.
point out as well, when that finale happened, the what do you call it? The Novemberfest was actually still going at the time, which took people away from RuneScape 3 and into like a beta, which was the Dimension of the Damned, and also the actual Halloween event. So they were taking people from everywhere away from Novemberfest.
How dare they? How
Anyway.
freaking dare they?
Back to you,
Yeah,
Ben.
yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, as we said, Mohawk has said herself, she's more of a skiller, and they've sort of put her into this, which is essentially 99% PVM content. So, but anyway, they've tried it. They'll learn from the one thing we can always say about Jagex is they do learn from their mistakes. They rarely make the same mistake twice.
No,
They will make.
They
other
find
mistakes,
plenty
but,
new ones to make.
Exactly right. So that's it.
All
So
right.
anyway, let's move this along and get
If
into
there's a
some
mistake,
good
they will
news.
find it.
Well,
Well,
correction.
that's-
The players will find it and let them know.
What's not a mistake is the new RuneScape Premier Club has hit us, and again, great value. 20 bonds this time around, reasonably priced again. So, introducing this year's Ultimate Membership deal, plus details on your soon-ending merch store coming. So,
Oh, merch store, by the way.
Yep.
I bought a
Yes.
shirt. I bought a shirt. I bought the Arab Lord
Oh,
shirt.
did you?
Yeah, I couldn't.
you got it.
I couldn't help
Oh,
myself.
shit.
I couldn't help
Well,
myself.
that's back.
pictures, please.
I will as soon as I get it. I'll be streaming in it. Are you kidding me?
I was going to say that'll be your streaming shirt
Yeah.
now, won't it?
I almost bought like.
Although,
is
the Herblore symbol green?
Yeah, the whole shirt's green. Like.
Oh, well, how are you going to stream in it?
Oh. I didn't even think about that. I mean,
He's gonna have to change his green screen to
Green screen to a blue screen.
Yeah.
Get a blue screen. Get a blue screen.
I could actually do
blue
that.
screen, yes.
I could do that actually.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the worst idea. Oh, I didn't even think about the fact that damn it!
I thought they were black with a green symbol on the front.
No,
Anyway.
it's the
There you
whole
go.
shirt's green with.
Bird thing's green.
Oh,
See,
my
I don't
God.
even stream and I
Typical
know this.
stoner. God damn
Yeah,
it!
That's right. That's what you get for huffing away all the time. See?
Listen, it's medical. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so alongside a hefty discount, the 2018 Gold Premier Club members receive the fearsome Hellion armor. There will be a picture of that on if you want to go to the page. The Hellion Aura, which has 4 beneficial effects, an extra daily treasure hunter key, and monthly access to the all-new Premier Club Vault. You'll also get your own Q&As, monthly prize draws, and up to 150,000 loyalty points and more. So we'll go into the package breakdown. Before I do, does anyone have anything they want to sort of say about?
I'm ready to talk about
just get to
the
the
package.
Yep, okay.
You just continue on, yeah.
So again, they've done the bronze, silver, gold. All three, you'll get the you get either 3 months with bronze, 6 months with silver, or the full 12 months with gold. Additional keys with the silver and gold package. Bonus loyalty points. You'll get 20,000 with the bronze, 50,000 with the silver, and 150,000 with the gold. You get a premiership reward token, one with the silver and one with an asterisk with the gold. So we'll find out what that is later. Also, they're continuing the Runemetric discount for the gold membership of 50%. The Hellion Aura comes with all 4. And then basically the rest are all gold memberships, which will be monthly access to the Premier Club Vault, the Hellion Armor, VIP Premier World Access, a VIP Premier Forum Access, a Forum Badge, the Chat Badge, Premier Club exclusive Q&As, 4 content exclusives in 2018. So I'm going to assume they're the ones that they do with the cards. A monthly prize draw. All 3 packages also give you, obviously, access to Old School.
I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into the 4 content exclusives in 2018.
Yep.
It's actually not cards. They are walling off content on new releases. The 4 big content releases in 2018 are going to have VIP-only content in them for the first time ever.
Ooh, very nice.
Little bonuses, nothing like, oh, you can't do a boss or like you don't get this weapon.
Yeah.
It's just like little bonuses that you're going to get access to like, to help you out. Anyway, continue.
That's good. And that's exactly what those type of things I should be doing. Prices, 5 bonds for the 3 months, 10 bonds for the 6 months, and 20 bonds for the 12 months. And prices, obviously, we'll talk in American dollars, is $27.99 for the 3 months, $44.99 for the 6 months, and $79.49 for the full 12-month package.
Such a good price point.
It is, yeah. And again, last year, bonds, I thought that was rather cheap, so I actually had myself 18 bonds ready to go, but I'll wait a couple of months because bonds have hit an all-time high.
They have, yeah.
Almost 20 mil. One of our clan members earlier bought one for 19.8 mil. So
I want, if they cross 20, I'm buying some.
get that gold stack up.
I need it. Fletching doesn't make much money.
Yes. Well, yeah, as I said,
it used to.
throw it in your own elking machine, and you might make a little bit more than
A little bit, yeah. I'll make for probably like 75 mil instead of like 50 mil.
72 mil.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the full Hellion Aura. This rechargeable godsend not only boosts your XP by 10% for an hour when activated, but also gives both you and those around you an additional 10% XP boost for the first 10 minutes and allows for 1 free death reclaim. Got another aura on cooldown? Use it on your Hellion Aura to immediately reset it once a day. So basically, if you use your vampirism and it goes to cooldown, you can just use it on the Hellion and it'll immediately reset. So
That's pretty cool.
That's a good little, I like that little addition there, because the main two I use are my vampirism or my penance aura. So
that's the big trade-off between like is like that's the big draw for this aura, right? Is like last year it was the fact that you could get like an extra sign, and this one is more about you can recharge another aura. Like those were the big draws, and I as a skiller like this one way more than the previous one, I have to say. Like the fact that you can charge any aura you want more than one, for an extra time a day is way more beneficial, I think, to everyone than that whole sign of life thing that you could kind of use. And I guess, I would dump it into the wisdom of Scabarus, I guess, but the fact that you can get the 10% and recharge can you get both? That's, I guess, what I'm confused about. Is this you pick one of each? Or is this you get those three things? I'm a little confused, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like
I think
I would probably say once a day you can use it all. I would assume.
I think it might be you have to pick between one of these. I'm not 100% sure though.
Where it says the rechargeable golden said not only boosts your XP by 10%, it also gives those around you an additional 10% for the first 10 minutes. So and allows for one free death claim. So
perhaps,
that says that gives you all that.
Perhaps it can do all those things while it's active. Then.
Anyway. So, yeah, but anyway, it sounds like another unique type of aura. So we'll see how that goes. Moving on is the Premier Vault Club. The Premier Vault Club is a new Premier Club exclusive D&D, which gives you 1 minute to open as many chests as you can to win rewards. The bigger the chest, the better the prize. It can be accessed through a new portal in the Grand Exchange in Varrock. Members can give it a try for free anytime up until November 30, after which it will be available on a monthly basis and reserved for 2018 Gold Premier Club members. Want to game the system? Buy your Premier Club membership in November and unlock it twice this month.
I mean, there's not enough ways already we get bloody easy XP. They bring this in.
This is
but
pretty,
it's a once a month thing.
It's definitely an XP grab, but it's way tamer than it sounds. I mean, you get a minute in there, and if you want to unlock the large chests, I think I was only able to do like 3.
There's like maybe 2 or 3 huge chests, and because of the distance in between them, I was only able to unlock like all the huge chests in like one small one in the minute.
And I think that's probably the best thing to do is go for the large ones and then try to get a medium one. That's kind of what I did.
Interesting to see what people say.
If you're in.
One of the huge ones got me 175 springs, so that's pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah, one of the large ones gave me 5 prismatic medium lamps.
Oh, okay.
So it can give some pretty decent stuff. There's Silverhawk down as well that you can get. Stars, lamps, your typical treasure hunter fare. All like the little like uncommons you see on Treasure Hunter are all kind of randomly handed out there, and I'm okay with that, I guess. It's not a huge deal. Yeah,
not like these clockwork pieces we're getting at the moment.
I love those.
They're just so OP.
How many do I have? Did you ask?
I just converted 2 right now. Give me those dungeoneering tokens. Thank you very much.
I've only gotten 62,000 tokens so far.
Yeah, see, I mean that's just crazy. When these events used to be, where you had 1,000, and they went for 14 days, so you could get 14,000 of them.
Yeah.
Then they opened the cap, but they didn't set an actual cap on the amount you can get.
No, if you have no life.
The amount of XP and GP that it brings in is just crazy, as far as I'm concerned. I think have the open cap for the first 10,000 that you get. So if you can get your 10,000 in 2 days, well. Yeah, good on you. But then I think once you hit that 10,000 cap, you should have to. They should reinstate the 1,000 cap a day.
Why?
Because it's just. I mean, everyone's complaining about all this bonus XP people are getting with Treasure Hunter, and you buy keys and get all this free XP. This is bringing you more XP than that.
How How is that bringing? I've dumped
everyone is getting it, not just people who want to spend money.
But like, not really. I had to dump like 80 hours. I had to dump 80 hours in to get this amount.
That's right.
Like,
but the average person, so
I think you're crazy.
Say the average person does 25 or 30,000 of it. That's every single player getting that amount. Whereas people who are just dropping money,
do you know how hard it is to get 25,000 of them though? Like that's still like the average person only plays 2 hours a day. You can only get like a couple thousand tokens in that time. Most people don't play the amount of time we play, Pern. We're in the top 1% of time played. Like the average person,
I still think they should cap.
The average person will not make more than 10,000 tokens in the entire event.
I tell you what annoys me. It's the people that say if they put a cap on it, it just increases daily scape. That ticks me off.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't because you gather them while you're just doing stuff anyways. Yeah, no, I do think once you hit the 10K and unlocked everything,
I think treasure hunters
they should cap it.
Far worse.
Yeah, they should be capped at like 1,000 a day or something.
Yep. I realized I was an idiot from the start because I don't need any of the upgrades you get, so I could have just started converting them from the start. So I've wasted 4,600 of them already.
What happened?
And so I don't need any of these. What's like a pet? It's like a cosmetic shield and all that.
Oh yeah.
So I could have just ignored all that and just converted them into the boxes.
That's exactly.
The pet looks really funny.
See, that's another thing. I think if you want to convert them, you have to unlock everything first.
That's a good idea.
So you have to use the 10K to unlock things.
Yeah. See, that I can get behind.
Boxes.
That I can get behind.
But yeah, people, because I mean, I know a lot of people are not even touching the cosmetic; they're just going straight for all the boxes. And
that's Jagex.
I unlock mine. I unlock the 10K because I just like to unlock those things. I'll never ever use it, but I just like to.
I had to make a pretty hard decision because I like cosmetics, but on the same side, I also like bonus XP even more, and. For someone like myself who can't really indulge themselves too regularly in Treasure Hunter because of what it will lead to, this is like a perfect opportunity for me to kind of get back at those people in my mind. So it's like I can't help but like this makes me kind of want to play the game even more. Like that's the only thing that I will say this makes this incentivizes unhealthy gameplay. Is the only thing
it's
I will
making
agree
a lot of people play a lot more hours than they normally.
Yeah, I mean, I think Treasure Hunter also encourages unhealthy gameplay as well. But point being, yes, that is the one thing I can get behind. Is yes, this is not incentivizing you to manage your time well.
Yeah. Yes. Or just do like me, go and lose your job, and then you don't have to worry about that.
That's what RuneScape. That's what RuneScape incentivizes. It incentivizes you to give up on society. It makes you not to
be unhappy when you lose your job. Anyway. Okay, let's move on. The reward tokens. Purchase gold or silver Premier Club membership, and we will reward you with tokens that can be used to unlock Premier Club exclusive items from previous years that you may have missed, or use on the upcoming prepaid card exclusive for 2018. Gold and silver members receive 1 token at purchase, while gold members will receive an additional or 2 additional tokens in January and July. And then basically it's all the cosmetic outfits, some weapons, headgear and such that went throughout the last 5 years, including if no one has bought a legendary pet yet, and I don't know why you wouldn't have. You actually, in 2012, the initial year, we had the Blood Pouncer pet given then, and you'll actually get that with this one as well if you want to. You can use your token on that.
Yeah, you can use your token on anything from any previous Premier year.
And I actually read this wrong.
1 token, and you unlock everything. Is that right?
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. Sort of a bit upset about it because I've been a Premier Club member every single year since release, so I have all of these. Yeah, and I thought so someone just comes in now and gets to get everything that I've already unlocked. That sort of didn't seem fair. But to know that they can only get 1 of them, that sort of that's fine. That I don't care.
Here's my issue. and it applies specifically to you, Pern. What do you do if you have unlocked, if you've always had Premier Club for every single year? This token is literally just useless to you?
Well, what it says here, you can use your token in the upcoming prepaid card exclusives. So whereas previously we were always given those, now they're going to say, well, okay, you can use it to get that. So
gotcha. Okay,
I will save mine for those, obviously.
So that's what I've been thinking, because they said on the live stream that other things would be coming to the tokens in the future if you wanted to hang on to your tokens, which is why I wanted to bring that up specifically. But I did not hear that point that you had just made right there. Is okay. So that's what they meant by that.
Now, the one thing we've always, with the Premier Club, we've always been given those anyway, so it's always been free. Now we have to use these tokens for it. So again, that's sort of, they've shortchanged it, people a little bit in this year's Premiership Club as opposed to that, but you know, maybe again that makes it a little bit more exclusive for people. So, you know, as I said, I have every single one of these. I'll get 3 tokens, and obviously they'll probably have 3 card deals this year, so I will be able to get all 3 card deals, whereas, you know, someone who wants to unlock, say they've unlocked the Blood Pound, so they'll only get to use 2 of them perhaps, or something like that. So interesting. So yeah,
because I've thought about unlock, because I don't have the any of the 2012 rewards. I did not have it first year, and like I'd really like the Flaming Skull or the Golden Katana. Yeah, it definitely was.
I didn't realize it went that far back. So all the items you can get are actually only the ones from Premier Club?
Correct, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was hoping to get my scythe from the Halloween event from years ago.
I was hoping, I don't know what I was hoping, honestly. Like, I was secretly hoping to get myself, like, a Christmas tree hat or something like that. But, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. But
they're tradable ones. It's all, they would only ever be tradable. So,
Well, and one more thing that I wanted to say there, on the topic of Christmas, and because this, I don't think, is anything on our docket at all, but has anyone seen the Christmas tree cape? Like, that cape is really sweet. I've
seen it. That looks so amazing.
Oh, it looks really cool.
I want to get one.
Is that coming? They said it's coming in the Advent box. Like, does that mean it's just free for everyone?
That'd be good.
Mate. Sorry, mate. It's still November. I'm not going to talk about this.
That's fair. I just had my Thanksgiving. I'm allowed to talk about Christmas now. Anyway, continue.
That's the American rule.
On top of that, don't forget, obviously, the merch store deals goes until Sunday. So all their T-shirts are reduced by at least 25%. And if you buy 3, they'll throw in free shipping.
So I almost bought all 3.
I just checked that before. It looks like, I didn't put my credit card details in, but it looks like it's free shipping worldwide.
It is. Definitely to everywhere. So, all you got to do is buy
really tempting.
Yeah. Well, that saves us on this end of the world a lot of money.
Yeah, it saves a lot of money to America
the
too.
Shipping, the shipping is what always kills these type of things.
Yeah, shipping, it saved me like $30 in shipping costs when I calculated like the 3 shirts. I ended up paying $10 shipping for 1 shirt.
Now I've got my sort of redundancy package. I might even go and get the shirts myself.
Yeah, why not?
While we're talking about the Black Friday RuneScape deal, the Solomon's General Store also has the Black Friday specials going on. Some of the specials include the Zaros pack, the King and Queen of Hearts pack, Rory the Reindeer. What else have we got here? We got
Harambe.
For those people that like capping and want to do it quickly, the
Gorilla Grod
6-pack, which is 15% off. And also Jungle Gorilla, which is 75% off.
Yeah. I went with Rory. That was my choice. I selected to grab Rory. That was a good deal.
Get more kills.
I also had the rune coins lying around from previous survey attempts, so you know.
I had 150 rune coin left, so I just cashed in one of my bonds, and I picked up the gorilla. So I got Rory last year. So I know I don't need another legendary pet, but I like the look of them. So and they're useful, so that's why it's not just a cosmetic. It's useful.
Needs to get on.
Freaking
Aura, the freaking avatar. It needs to just not be a thing anymore, so people who have avatars out
Yes.
can have their freaking legendary pets out instead or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's so
Have
sad.
the cake and eat it too.
That well, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Because, like, I have all these legendary pets, and I can't use any of them because of the stupid avatar.
Don't
But
worry,
that was-
man. Wait till 2020 when we can have free pets out at a time.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they said though. I think that was like 6 or 8 months ago. They were talking about doing that. And I
Yeah.
don't see that would be a hard update. Just implement, a 5% XP boost if you do half your capping in the clan where you normally get it, where you can get that XP stuff. Once you hit that target, yep, bang, away you go. And
I think they need to rewrite the entire clan system.
No, I know.
Like, I don't think that they should. I just think they'd have to do any changes to it because it's so shit and spaghetti. But I don't know. I think that's what I heard was like it required a pretty hefty engine fix. I don't know. I just think that they should allot time to it, but RuneScape Mobile is literally sucking up. Like, if you ever wanted to, like, this is as close as we've ever come to a year where we've pretty much been asking for quality of life fixes only. Like, have a year like that where they only do quality of life fixes, and we would say like, oh no, we can handle it. The player base can handle it. Well, look at this year. Like, it has been mostly just patch notes, and people have been losing their fucking minds.
Yeah. People always lose their minds, unfortunately.
I mean, we were taking the piss out of the back end of 2016. I actually wrote a song about it a while ago, about a month ago, which probably would have put Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day back into rehab.
But actually, there is an update on the Premier Club that DX has just posted in the Discord chat. Do you want to read that out, DX?
Yes, the 2016 Premier Club Bonds package has now been removed from the bond redemption interface for those who are current 2016 members. That was from Modjourney.
Thank you.
So that'll fix that. As long as you don't buy it, that'll fix that issue of it. Obviously, that's the quick fix that they've done for those people, so no one else will get caught out with losing the Pantheon Aura.
Yes.
So there was also, if you want to keep going along here, an issue with the Pantheon Aura that has been fixed. I think we mentioned it in the pre-show real quick. It was just a little funny bug that if you purchased the new package, it disabled your old package, basically, if you had time left on it. Shouldn't be the case anymore, but, just a little hot fix there.
Yeah, that comes from Mod Balance. That Aura should run until the 31st of December.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that in mind. So remember, don't come in whinging on the 1st of January saying my Aura's not working anymore.
Well, if
keep going.
if Facets RS has their way, they'd like to strip down the Pantheon Aura like they did with the Magebit Aura and not remove it. What do they have to say, Pern?
That's it. The title says it all. The Magebit's Aura's monthly 50% boost was insanely good. However, after the 2015/16 Premier Club period, this effect was removed and only the regular 5% boost to either damage or divine location cap remained. Considering how lackluster this year's Premier Club Aura is, I think removing the Pantheon is both inconsistent with past years and disappointing for many players. The solution is to simply strip it down in a similar fashion to what was done with the Magebit. Off the top of my head, one way to do this would be to get rid of the recharge system and simply allow us to pick one of the 6 busts per day to use. This helps the Aura keep its versatility while significantly reducing its impact on the game. Bullshit. One of the key arguments people made for getting rid of Pantheon was the sheer power of the Ward of Icthlorin free signs. Making Pantheon a daily activation Aura gets rid of both its spam ability and the ability to stockpile charges. The buff itself could even be nerfed to just 1 extra sign per hour.
You can see what he's desperate for here, clearly.
I know. And obviously, to call it lackluster, I thought it was one of the better ones that they had with the versatility that it offered. A lot of people didn't want the bonus XP and all that type of stuff. And obviously, he is one of these ones who just wants a sign of life, which was overkill. It was way too OP for that. And we remember in previous years with the Magebit Aura, I can't remember if it was Raids or it was Araxi, but the 50% Berserk version of that was not able to be used on the boss. This time they allowed the new boss to be done with it. So I think you know, I think they shot themselves in the foot by allowing this aura to be used at Telos, and that's how we saw those 4,000 enrage kill Telos.
Now people are addicted.
I'd love to see I'd love to see that that reset, and we start Telos all over again and see who can truly get the highest without using one of these overpowered buffs to keep them.
So, at the end of the day, they did confirm that this aura was only going to be for the year, didn't they?
They did at the start of the year because of the carry on with the previous ones when they did remove them. They were apparently only supposed to be a year.
Yeah,
that's right. They said this will be removed at the end of the year. They actually told us that, so no one can complain. Oh, they never told us. This is not fair. This isn't this. This is what you bought into when you got this aura. So
we knew this literally from the start.
Yeah,
that's right.
Shit happens. Moving on.
Yeah, so exactly right. Move on.
Well, he needs to move on. That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you're complaining that this aura is being removed from the game, then you literally didn't, you need to go back and learn how to follow directions. Go back to first grade and learn how to read the instructions on the paper, because that is literally what it said when you signed up for the package. You don't get to change the freaking rules right at the last second just because there was case precedents for the history of auras having that happen before. They were literally trying to get over and past the fact that we don't want there to 10 years down the road there to just be just tons of auras in the game from just previous years that all these people have exclusively, and then it breeds this weird culture of what auras do you have, what auras do I have.
And that's exactly right. And that's especially for something like this where they're saying, this extra sign of life. And I know you were saying last time, where a lot of group bosses won't allow you to come onto their team if you don't have certain things on cooldown. So if your auras are on cooldown. So if in 3 or 4 years' time there's a group that all has this for the extra sign of life kill or that, and a new guy comes in and does it and they don't let him on a team, things like that, that's that's going to lead to very unfair things in the future. So I think at this stage, if they just announce every time, let's stop the auras, they will be removed at the end of the 12 months, and that's
There's enough of that shit.
No ifs, buts or maybes. Yep.
Yeah. Just give me a second, I'll just activate my Dwarven Instinct and let's continue.
Well, see, all I have to say about people who have the Dwarven Instinct aura is our accounts are actually just going to be super rare, museum level accounts someday because of it. Forget party hats. This is the shit that it's going to be you're going to be able to brag to your friends that you have this discontinued aura from 2015 or whatever.
That's actually useful. That is actually useful. Your party hat ain't useful. Okay.
Wouldn't that be funny if one of the auras got so old, right? You picked it out of your bank and all of a sudden disintegrated in your hands?
Yeah, that wouldn't be funny at all.
Just crumbles to dust.
You've overused this. So you've had 100,000 uses. Goodbye.
Please submit another 200,000 loyalty points.
Gold Premier Club membership to get it back.
Don't worry, Dick. So I'll be walking over to Diango and giving him a bit of a black eye.
Your bank account has crumbled to dust.
Speaking of auras, we have a new one from Cool Bananas 69 who says, Jagex, the free death effect on Hellion Aura is completely useless if you need the aura equipped to use it. Now, we don't even know if it is going to be needed to be equipped or if you just go to death and do it there. But anyway, free deaths are a cool concept that is not even close to how OP the Pantheon's free signs are.
Oh, you poor
But while
thing.
the Pantheon Aura could be used without taking up an extra slot, the Hellion can't. The only feasible context where free deaths are useful are against high-level bosses, and to kill those you need your accuracy or berserk auras. Please make the free deaths be activated from the inventory and not the aura slot. I think he does have a bit of a point there.
He does.
There be one exception in that being Araxor, because if you go to an Araxor fight, if you die, you lose your stuff, don't you?
Nope.
No.
Everything goes to Death's office. You get everything at Death's office.
I must be thinking of it differently then.
You're just thinking of 10 years ago, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
So, PSA, there's a follow-up to that. There's a workaround, sort of, apparently, according to Gideon here, who says you don't have to have the Hellion active, or the Hellion Aura active when you die to save the death cost. Just activate it well inside Death's office. The bad side is you'll have to remove your current aura if you have any on, and the Hellion Aura aura active everything at once, so you have to choose which will best suit yourself for that day. So you have to activate the aura, basically, you know, sacrificing your 10%, sacrificing, you know, the aura recharge, all that other stuff, I guess. I don't know.
Or get good, don't
right.
try.
Yeah.
Or just, you can also pay the death cost at that point,
exactly.
right? Like,
I
yeah.
mean, if you're doing those high-level bosses, you're obviously not short of cash anyway, so just pay Death his 650k or whatever it is that you pay him.
Yeah, and I think the thing here...
These people are getting ridiculous.
I don't think that the argument is really that valid at all. But if we are going to argue it a little bit, I think that the point that this aura is more for more people learning high-level bossing now, and less about the, you know, if you're not resurrecting in the fight, you've ended the fight. Like this, it doesn't really matter if you are activating it all. You wanted to save yourself the death cost. You got the opportunity to do that. You're still saving some money. The aura still has value.
Yeah, I'd be paying Death my 50k to get my dragon gear back.
I wouldn't mind, though, if they went and nerfed it a little bit. Or not nerfed it, rather, but kind of quality of life adjusted it so it was, instead of having to activate it, that it just, you know, if you had it in your inventory, it just took away the charge for that day, or, you know, you got your free death reclaim, and then it just didn't happen again, but you could still use the other effects. Like, I'd be fine with that.
Or even just like they did with the Pantheon Aura, where you had the pop-up menu. So when you activated it, you just clicked, yep, take that now, bang, and it closes it.
Yeah,
so
and
you're not actually activating it, you're just selecting, yep, I want this one, and away I go.
Yeah, I don't know why that they made it. You know what? To be fair, I haven't even looked at the friggin' aura. Let me take it out of the damn bank and actually look at it. Actually, I have another aura equipped, so I can't turn it on, but I can see, like, what can you do here? You can do benefits. What does benefits do? The aura can be activated for an hour a day to give 10% increased XP and can save you from the reclaim cost of your items once if you die and visit death whilst the aura is active. So the aura definitely has to be active, which means it has to be in your, you know, aura slot.
Has to be, yeah.
It provides a 10-minute AoE boost on initial activation, similar to a pulse core, and can also recharge an aura once per day if it's on cooldown. So they don't really I think the aura on cooldown thing is separate from aura activation. I think those two things are separate. Like that, those are two different things that you can do in a day. But you have to activate it to get the 10% pulse core and death effect, and then you can also recharge an aura with it separately once per day. Let's see here. Gold Premier Club members can also access the vault and the Granite. That is irrelevant information to this aura. Why did
they didn't put that there? But
so,
I think they've made this aura a little bit too confusing. But
it is really confusing. Why did they make it so confusing? They should have just gone with the old menu we knew. Good.
Yeah, I don't think it's as OP as last year's one, so that's a positive, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, got a few topics left to go here.
Just for the record, Mod Dolan just posted in his Twitter just a short time ago. We'll be posting my bug folder in approximately an hour. Watch this space.
You say my bug folder?
I think he's one of the main guys behind RuneScape NXT. So,
well, that could be interesting.
It could be.
So all you have to do is delete the bug folder. All the bugs go away. Come on.
Bang.
In before everyone opens it up and there's just a photo of all these bugs he's actually collected in real life, and he's got crickets and cicadas and all that just pinned on a board.
That would be, you know what? That wouldn't put it past Jagex to have that level of humor. I'd appreciate that.
That level of trolling.
It's very British. Very British.
Okay, let's move on. And this one comes from Tipperet, who says he got skulled while holding the Divine-o-matic in the wilderness. So, for some reason, I keep getting skulled while harvesting cursed wisps at the wilderness volcano under the following circumstances. I have no weapons to attack someone by accident. I am wielding a Divine-o-matic vacuum, which prevents me from attacking anyone. Auto retaliate is disabled, so I could not attack someone even if I could. I have no curse wisps in my inventory at the time of being sculled. No one in the area had a familiar for me to attack, and it happened to me when I am harvesting wisps near the energy rift. It is a big inconvenience when I must run off to kill myself or wait 20 minutes to remove the skull. I end up losing time, my familiar, 30,000 GP, and my enrichment aura that I usually extend for 2 hours.
30,463 GP, just to be precise.
Yes, for his aura. For his... I usually extend for 2 hours using Viswax at 82,670 GP. My big issue is me losing my Divine-o-matic in the case I get killed. I recall it costing me a lot of gold pieces and taking several days just to gather the right components. I have also seen others in the area complaining of the same issue. What else might you suggest to prevent me from getting sculled? I have been sculled 2 more times under the following circumstances. I went into the wilderness volcano and logged out to eat dinner. Upon my return, I logged back in and immediately sculled. I was welding a Divine-o-matic at the time. He just stop welding it, mate. Just hold it.
Well, he was still building the new one from his last death.
That's it.
Point number 2.
Yes. He's continued to weld it and getting attacked to get sculled and die. This time, my auto retaliate was disabled. I thought I cannot be sculled while wielding a Divine-o-matic. There must be something I'm not doing.
No, he says,
now,
I thought I cannot be sculled while welding a Divine-o-matic.
Yes.
He's done it 3 times.
Yes. At least he's committing.
Yes. Now, there was an update a little while ago about the wilderness area where I think once you start, you were automatically getting sculled now. I think that was one of the updates they made, so that you couldn't just run off. There was actually going to be, you were going to lose everything when you were out there. Am I remembering that correctly?
I have no idea.
I'm just going to check it out, see what I can come up with.
This is an interesting case. I mean, he's got a non-combat weapon attack, equipped, so he couldn't accidentally skull. I didn't. The only thing, and it sounds like he logged out and then logged back in and was skull. Like that is weird. I don't know a lot about the wilderness.
For some reason, I know they did an update a little while ago, which, I mean, I never go there anyway, but I said, once they said that, I said, well, that to make sure I'll never ever go there again, where you couldn't teleport once you're in there, and I thought it was you got sculled once you went in there, so you lost everything.
I mean, the abyss skulls you when you go in there.
Yeah.
This is what I currently have. If the player is carrying any cursed energy or memories, they'll be unable to teleport out of the wilderness. In addition to allowing players of all levels to attack them, regardless of the combat setting.
I think I know what's happening.
Player getting any of those will be noticed on his/her chat message.
So
but it doesn't say anything about being sculled though.
Well, it says you can be attacked. So, or it sounds like it has similar connotations to the demonic skull. Or cursed energy does. Problem being here is they're using a Divine-o-matic, which, if they have it set the way I think they have it set, it's not putting anything in their inventory. They're sucking everything up and turning it into divine charges. Thusly, the demonic energy is not actually touching their inventory. So, in theory,
you're getting those charges. That's turning into the charges. So it may
your character
that you're still using that cursed energy.
Yeah, your character's still interacting with the cursed energy. So my guess is the game code's check is on interaction with the energy, not the energy placing it in your inventory.
Sounds
it's pretty crazy. I just want to let this guy know there's this place. It's below the poison waste where you can
pull the incandescent.
You can harvest this energy and
no one attacks you.
Wilderness. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how many players actually know about it. Yeah, I don't know how many players actually know about it. But
there's Elder.
Come down here. Yeah, maybe I'll write a comment for him.
Elder Wisps don't give you as much energy though.
It's true.
To charge it up. So yes. But I'm happy to take that little bit of slower charge time and just not get killed.
Yeah,
it's great.
Not be paranoid.
I have been into the wilderness twice since I got my lava strike worm soul in there.
I kind of want to.
Congratulations.
I kind of want to go test this. Like, I don't want to rebuild my Divine-o-matic though if I get PK'd. But I am curious to see if like that would be.
If you get skull, once you do it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if is there like we got like a bird going on here, some like demon creature.
Now our man's the demon. What's going on over there, dude?
Holy shit.
Anyway.
Yes. So anyway, I'm just having a look down. He was saying he wasn't wearing the Doom Skull. He hadn't been.
Yeah. He said he wasn't wearing it. So that makes me think that it's just because he's picking up cursed energy, but he's interacting with it, so it's sculling him basically. That's what I think's happening.
Yeah, Rage Paragon is a waste of space with his answers there. So I'm just trying to read if anyone else.
Like, no, but, I know my answer before was a bit of a joke, but at the same time, how much better is it actually to go into the wilderness and do this shit? Like, what sort of XP gain or GP gain are you actually gaining?
You're getting 50% extra energy, and I think it's 20% extra XP. I believe.
Right.
The amount of times you get killed and such, exactly. It's just not worth the effort. If it was 300% more, I might occasionally look at going in there, but 50% extra energy.
If it was
20% extra XP.
If it was 300% more, there'd be 300% more people doing it and 300% more PKers. So I still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Oh my god, Magebit. You figured out how to bring back PvP in the game.
Right?
No, not PvP, just PKing.
Yeah, but just PKing.
Just straight up salty PKing, the best kind.
Look, Mum, I can go and punch this little baby in the face and steal its ice cream.
I love it when my salt is marinated in hate.
Okay, now speaking of
punch babies now, what the hell?
Speaking of scams and PKers and such, Jagex beware, there is a new account scam. This has been posted by King Hermit. Hello there. I recently got hacked, actually about an hour ago. There is an ad running on Facebook that was sponsored to me using the official RuneScape logo and everything, claiming that RuneScape Mobile for old school is now up and running for members only. It matched the timeline, took me to a website that looked valid. I was on mobile in the middle of the field, so I did a quick checkup. I logged in. It asked for an authenticate or bank pin. I'm out of the loop and thought nothing of this, as I don't have authenticator and learn my lesson. Well, there you go, straight away. You don't have authenticator, you screwed up.
Yeah, I keep warning Jagex that there's a scam like this happening at the moment. They're saying
there's nothing they can do about it.
Facebook has a huge problem with this type of
their response was that Facebook is not, looking into this as well as they should.
Facebook is like under fire right now for having a shit ton of advertisements that are just completely illegitimate and malicious.
Yeah.
As long as they pay for it, Facebook don't care.
Apparently not.
I don't have Facebook.
Yeah, that Donald Trump guy, he's doing a pretty good job, eh? Yeah. Thanks, Facebook.
Hey, Trump's awesome.
What?
Lo and behold,
Trump have to do with Facebook and RuneScape Mobile?
I don't know. Lo and behold, not lo and behold, learned not to trust sponsored content on Facebook, but would just like to give everyone the heads up. I'm not really devastated, as I only lost a 60 to 80 mil and was slowly grinding back into playing. I'll be taking a break anyhow. Hope if there is any way to crack down on this Facebook advertising, have a great day. The link in question looked official, with it being Runescape with an A instead of a Rune Escape. It looked like this, that he had to remove the link. Obviously, it's on Facebook page, looks exactly like the official old school page, and has over 1K likes. The ad has been up since September 12th. He says, please take it down. Well, Jagex have, as we just said, I mean, they can't take it down. I mean, they could put complaints into to Facebook about it, but being a sponsored one, because whoever does it, they pay for those. And,
anyone can...
Facebook is very unlikely to, take that down to lose themselves money.
I mean, they have to by law.
Because it's not available on mobile, just remember, you will be contacted via email only. And they've said this how many times in the past,
Yep.
but people still don't listen.
Well, I mean,
They will never ask you for
The personal
password
details like that.
but have Authenticator. Said it before. If you don't have a phone that has it on, Magebit has a great video up there that shows you exactly how to do an online one with
people
with Authy.
People throughout history have famously just believed whatever they frickin' see in advertisements. So I feel like it's on Facebook to do something about this, though. Like, this is not Jagex's problem.
Exactly, yeah.
And
it's Facebook.
As a platform, they need to like get their shit together, because you shouldn't. Any other platform you post advertisements to, they vet you before you can post your advertisement, and the fact that Facebook doesn't do that is a real problem. I mean, just there's so much garbage floating around on the internet that people trust sponsored posts for whatever stupid reason. So they need to be vetted to some degree, and I think this is proof.
And this is what annoys me, where people like Google who are the EU at the moment is suing them about their advertising, because their sponsored favored ones always go to the top, but they have vetted those. They know they are correct. It says quite clearly this is a sponsored one by us, and they're all checked properly. Yet you get someone like Facebook who just gets away with this
Facebook's really
all the
great
time.
at also sticking sponsored content in between your regular feed and making it look like part of your regular feed. So it's very easy for people to fall victim to this stuff and let their guard down.
It always, it hurts. That's the one thing that it really hurts me. Is the people, they do it on purpose, and it can just convince people just so easily. It just looks like something that your friends posted, but it's an ad, and they just it's horrible.
Like, your friend whatever thinks this product is like super cool. Like, oh no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Did they give you the okay to do that? No.
Another reason why I'm happy I don't have Facebook.
Yeah, it's a garbage platform. I've actually been doing a really good job of staying off of Facebook for non-business purposes. I'm pretty proud of that. I've
got that shit locked down.
Yeah,
I'm just very sad that I don't have Pantheon as a friend, because I'd love to see that mug every once in a while.
No, you don't. Trust me.
He'll only show his RuneScape character, not his actual mug.
Actually, if I do start doing some live streaming, I might even occasionally webcam.
You should set it as a stream goal. Have a donation goal. Send me $100
$1,000 and see my face.
I'm so into that. I am so into that.
You realise in the meantime, he'll just tease everyone with a bag over his head with a question mark on the front.
No. So when you finally turn your stream on, you're going to show your mug. Then you just show a fucking stream of your coffee mug for like 30 minutes.
See my mug. That's actually a good one. I like that idea. So anyway, as we always say, just make sure you have Authenticator, protect your account, and don't click links that aren't directly with Jagex, Facebook or not. Just there's too many people out there doing dodgy things.
That's for sure.
So,
like begging for money on the internet.
Yes, we're coming up to the stupid question of the month, pasted by Jeremy Cheng, who is actually a max player, who says 5.4 bill XP with only Treasure Hunter. Assuming that cash and GP isn't a concern for the person wanting to max their XP out, how much dollars/GP would it cost to max XP only using Treasure Hunter? And has anyone done this before? So obviously he's seen a friend's one where he just maxes an account. So he wants to know if anyone's gone the full 5.4 bill.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say probably not, right? I mean, maybe, but probably not.
Yes. So Christelle's actually giving him a good... The person who maxed in 3 days used $13,000, and I think it was $15,000 in the end, wasn't it?
I don't know.
But anyway, if you are good at math, you can calculate it from the current minimum XP required for a max cape. So she's saying it's $187,200. So a house.
Yeah, after this is all said and done, if I decided to sell my account, I could barely even buy a house. Like, it makes me feel kind of sad about my life accomplishments.
And you got. I mean, with all that type of stuff, I mean, you got to also take into account the RNG factor. I think a friend is always very lucky on those type of things. You know, just play the game. If you want to max the count, max it. Don't just sit there spending money on Treasure Hunter. If you got that sort of money to blow, give it to me.
Yeah, right. Invest in the arts.
To Mod Shawnee, who just got Morty the construction pet. Constitution pet, sorry. Yes.
Not construction, what are you going on about?
I'm trying to read 3 screens at once.
So am I. I don't have any problems.
So that was, So I wanted to tack that in there as the stupid question of the month. I mean, you know, who as I said, play the game. Don't spend that sort of money. If you want to buy an occasional thing for little XP suits and things like that, go for it. But keep the money in your pocket if you're looking at spending that much money.
I want the next Elite promo to be called Little Elite Suits.
Little Elite Suits.
Yeah.
Well, they are little Elite Suits.
They are. They are. I'll give you that.
Actually, speaking of which, we should be just about due for another release of the older ones into game, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's been more than 4 months since the last.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. What's next? Is it dungeoneering or woodcutting?
No. I think it's those ones of all. Those ones are the really late ones. So dungeoneering was before woodcutting, but I think
divination.
I think it's divination would be the next one.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
I would have been laughing if it was just dungeoneering just to troll poor Magebit.
Has the ethereal outfit come out yet?
Yes.
The runecrafting one?
That one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get the shards for that pretty easily in the rune span.
Yeah, so it'll
the
be
the shards for the Eurephil one.
Yeah.
So it'll I think it would be. Yeah,
gotta let the divination that go, alright, man.
That's mate. That's like the rabbit-proof fence. That'll never be let go.
And Magebit's geography.
Yeah, that'll never die.
No.
Oh dear.
So that basically brings us to the end of the show. Does anyone else have anything? Are there any listeners out there who want to throw something into it?
No.
Yeah, just recently I started getting back into the Swing of Slayer because I'd recently added the Bone Crusher to my tool belt, and I started taking the what do you call it? The Shabdies.
Yep.
I can't remember where you get them
from. Close enough.
Yeah, it is close enough. Yeah, and I finally started to get souls from Slayer monsters. I got what did I get? I think I got an Ice Strike one, man.
Yeah.
One of my last tasks, I got a soul from a vampire or whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, the older ones come in fairly easily. Wait till you get up to the elite ones and all the new creatures. They take a while.
Yeah, can't wait to try to go up to the bloody wildy worm like you did.
Yes, so that one almost made me quit the game.
So, yeah, but I now have 4 of those souls.
I almost got killed this morning to the wildy worm.
Collect them all. Yeah, you want to tell us about that story?
Gotta catch him all.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I was just doing an herb run, and I'm collecting my bloodweed in the wilderness, and off I go to the little teleporter thing that brings you to the lower level wilderness. And I'm like, oh crap, I don't have surge on this bar. I won't need it. And then as I get closer to the thing to activate the portal, I see, oh, there's a lava noodle there. That's weird. I didn't know those were there. And I right click on it, and it's the freaking wildy worm. So I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, oh. So I'm like, maybe I can activate this thing and get out of here before it notices.
Well, that's your fault.
And it hit me for 5,000, and I was like, I gotta go just south. And it hit me for another 4,000.
I got shit to do today.
And then I luckily it appears to be a stationary monster, so it didn't chase me.
Yeah, once it comes,
But it took,
once it pops up, it stays there. But
it took like 8,200 health from me, and I logged out.
Once it comes, it's pretty much disabled.
I remember when one of the times I was getting attacked by player killers down there, I ran and I jumped on it, and I just let it kill me, and it was whacking them pretty hard too. So I was happy. I don't know if they got my black dragon hide from it. Yeah, good. They would have taken a fair bit of damage.
It was like a reverse lure. They lured you, and you lured them in return. That was great. Great strategy, Pan. I should use that next time.
I love that they have. Yes. I love that they have to post like proof that QA does stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking at that.
It's like, hey, look, no, like without QA, this could have gone into the game. Like, we promise we do things. Community.
And also, just for people that don't know, next week the Advent's gonna come in.
I'm excited. I want that Christmas tree cape.
Yes, and hopefully they'll do the spring clean.
I just want to make a PSA.
Boots and everything. Yep.
I want to make a PSA in regards to winter weekends. Just a heads up, during the mini game weekend, I believe, you have an opportunity to get 50% off the already reduced Livid Farm prices. Just a heads up.
No.
Yep.
No.
Really?
It's 50%.
No, that
50%
sucks.
plus produce points.
50% off.
Half the price.
It's 50% off the produce points. They're required to cap the farm. So it's 50% off the already reduced prices.
25% of the work you guys have to do.
Yeah. So I might actually be doing Livid Farm, but
I don't really complain. I didn't mind Livid Farm.
The weird thing is, it stacks with boosters too.
Yep. So get that shitty requirement out of the way. Also, like, another odd one, and I'm assuming this is because of Slayer Fletching going free to play, is there's a like an artisan weekend where you can get 25% bonus XP in the Fletching skill, which is pretty OP. And
that is, yeah.
Like, I also feel like it's a giant middle finger because it's like it's the last winter weekend, which I will probably already be 120 Fletching by. So just on the edge.
A little while. Just stop for a little while. Go and do some Slayer. Make some GP from killing things, and then you're ready to go when it comes back.
I've thought about that, and I just don't know if it's enough of a thing. So it's 3 days of 25% extra XP. I can rake in, depending on which activity I'm doing. I can rake in between 2 and 2.5 million experience a day on average. So, like, what's
500k extra?
500. That's a pretty good amount. So that would speed things up, I guess, a little bit. I don't know.
I'm having a close look at what is in the winter weekends. The 50% increased. Hang on, what was it? Yeah. This Shattered Worlds grants 50% extra anima.
Yeah.
50% increased Slayer experience. This is just the week of the 1st to the 4th. Extra training points for boss training. Increased chance of a rare drop and an enhanced Ring of Wealth. So
I think
there's a lot of good stuff coming
There's a clue scroll weekend too.
Yeah, well, I think if we're talking about the best weekend to enjoy the 2017, is you've got to do that weekend number 2 where you get 75% increased experience from shifting terms and 50% extra reputation from Menethos, just to bring it up to what probably should have been to begin with.
Hey, just for the record, RR man, you did bring up that point about the 75% increased experience from shifting terms. Also, on the 15th on the minigames one, it's 100% increased Menethos reputation from shifting terms.
That's pretty good. I
think a lot of people are going to go down there this weekend and try and max out Menethos.
Might just do that if I'm up to it. I might try and do a shifting tomb stream if I can. I'd like to. That's for sure.
I already maxed out Menethos. I did pretty much most of the last city just through Slayer, just doing the Soften 'em dungeon tasks. So chasing the souls down there.
Soften 'em dungeon. How was Soften 'em dungeon?
Love it.
Do you?
It's still on my preferred Slayer task list.
That's interesting. What about it is enjoyable?
good XP, nice and quick. Pretty reasonable drops, and the fact that it all just goes into the like little chest. You don't have to worry about picking up drops or anything like that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So I do like that. Apparently,
I think the thing about the soften the dungeon is it's just not too hard.
Yeah, but you do have to be careful, because if you
have too much fun.
No, if you take an aggression potion, I don't advise that to anyone, because they hit they hit pretty hard when they're all hitting you at once. Although the first ones, the scorpions, I think is in the first row, they're great. Just take in your magic equipment there, aggression pot up, and away you go, and you can pretty much AFK. That's about 6 mil an hour. Between 4 and 6 mil, depending on your luck with keys.
Fair.
Yeah, but it's really good. It's good money. It's good GP, and they're just fun because I'm sick of doing this actual creature. I can run down and do the next one, and things like that. So it is a good little area. I like it. Lost Grove, another great one. They hit hard as well, so you have to actually play the game. It's not lay back. And do one at a time, and what Slayer used to be, but with setting off your abilities properly and making sure you're doing everything right.
Cool beans. All right. Anything else anyone wants to bring up before we wrap this show up? We good? I want to thank you, Pern, for kind of taking a lot of the stress off of my voice. Appreciate that a lot.
No worries at all. As I said, always happy to help out, and it sort of helps me out too. Obviously, with I'm making jokes about it, but if I don't laugh, I'll cry type thing with my job. So sort of that distraction's always good.
It's always fun to do it. I'm glad we were able to arrange something. And as Ari in chat says here, 2 more sleeps until Quest. If there.
Yes, Evil Days.
Comes out on Monday.
I still don't believe it. I'm afraid to believe it.
No, it'll be here.
Mage?
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm gonna, as long as I'm in a position to do so. If it comes out on Monday, I should be able to, as long as I'm feeling okay.
I got off
just 2 more sleeps.
2016, sort of, where we had so many problems on the first day of release of Quest. I generally wait till the 3rd or 4th day now.
I have a surgical procedure on Tuesday, so doing the Quest on Monday is probably a good option for me.
Yeah, nice relaxing time. Get yourself relaxed before you go under.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Good luck with that too. So
thank you. Hopefully that will work out in my favor. We'll see.
We'll be thinking of you.
Yeah. I won't be thinking of anything because I'll be unconscious.
It's the buzziest feeling in the world.
The mushrooms, California.
That'd be nice. I'd much rather be doing that.
Also, just a little hint out there. If anyone is going after their rune scores, trying to get those up, one of the tasks on there in the achievements under the bosses is you have to punch General Grador to death.
That's pretty cool. I like that one.
It's not bad. Just get yourself some Goliath gloves from Dominion Tower, and it takes you about.
You lost me at Dominion Tower.
It takes about 60 seconds to do that way. If you do it just normally, it's about 3 or 4 minutes.
I'll do that way.
But Dominion Tower, it's like I got him knocked down.
I want to wear
60 seconds.
I want to wear like shark gloves and punch him to death with shark gloves.
Good morning.
Just fists of fury.
How are you, Hannah?
How's it
I'm
going?
doing good. Did I make it in time for the show?
We're just wrapping up by saying goodbye.
End of the show.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can extend for a bit if you want to talk about anything in particular. But we pretty much covered the Premier Club and all of the whining that's going on versus all the good stuff that is included.
It's quite rare that we have the entire Jedi Council in the room at the same time.
Yeah.
I wonder if punching
Live
Grador to
stream,
death
you
if you just need to land the final blow. Do you know, Pern?
Sorry, what was that?
With punching Grotto to death, I wonder if you just need to land the final blow.
No, no. It's if you equip an item, it says you've ruined this attempt.
Oh, I'm actually surprised by that.
I hope it says it just like that. You've ruined this. You've ruined this for both of us.
It popped up something because I was the only reason I actually knew about it was because I accidentally took off my my scythe and I punched him and it goes, you've started this challenge. I go, hey, what challenge have I started on? I put my scythe back on and it said, you're now no longer eligible or something like that. So
interesting.
Okay.
They actually put some coding into that.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a challenge until I actually accidentally punched. Because I mean, I don't worry about any of the boss challenges.
So,
did you talk about all the idiots complaining about the Pantheon Aura not staying around?
Yep. Absolutely, but we can talk about it again because it was probably my favorite topic.
Much idiots.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick though. But go ahead.
I usually try not to comment on Reddit, but I was browsing last night and there was a usually popular thread of people complaining about that, and the one person was like, when they removed they told everybody they were going to remove the Dwarven Instinct Aura, and everybody raged and they brought it back, and I was like, that's not what happened. Way to rewrite history, but sure.
They never told us it was being removed, the first one. This one they told us right from the start, this will be removed at the end of the promo.
And I don't know if you all said this, but the only way, in a theoretical world where that aura stays around, which I don't think it should, but if it did, they would absolutely have to remove the Sign of Life feature. Every other aura has been nerfed when it stayed around, and there's no way that Desert Pantheon Aura could exist with the Sign of Life feature. It's just too powerful.
Yeah.
So, all people want it for is that feature, but that feature would... if that aura was staying around, and they had announced it last year they were staying around, they would have absolutely said, and we're going to remove the Sign of Life feature, because the Sign of Life feature is more broken than the Majorat Berserk Aura feature was, which was a monthly where you could do 50% more damage.
Yep.
And
couldn't use it at some of the bosses.
Yeah,
you couldn't use it at Araxi or raids or something. Yep.
It also didn't.
That's what they made a mistake with Telos.
It didn't count towards kill time either. You couldn't set records with it. They did all kinds of stuff with that aura that they did not do with Desert Pantheon.
Yep, definitely.
But
I definitely messed up with that one.
I don't really have any topics to talk about. I just figured I would try to get on because I saw people were still talking, but I figured I'd be too late for the show, so you can end it if that's.
Well, once Magebit gets back, we might wrap it up, and he escape shots that didn't actually get released during the week, so that will be attached to the end of this show. So everyone, remember that. If you want to hear escape shots, hang around for the end. And are you back yet, Mage? Or...
Yeah, I'm here. I can run.
Yep, he's back. Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'll say real quick too. PVM Perspective is going to be slightly changing in a good way. We are adding Jim and Jake as another co-host on the show, so there will be 3 of us now. That first episode will probably be up in about 2 weeks. We haven't recorded it yet. I have one episode that's probably going to be released tomorrow, hopefully. I need to get it edited, and then that one will come out. So hopefully we'll be back on a more regular schedule with more help from Jake, and I'm excited to have another co-host on the show. Jake's really good at PVM, and it'll be great to have a third perspective.
Yeah, it definitely will. And we have to start trying to nail down time for a show where we all give our end of the year kind of review. So start thinking about that too. Everyone, co-hosts. So if you want to be a part of that, let me know. Gotta start figuring that out. I figured we'll try to get as many people on as possible for it, but
yeah, I don't know how busy I'm going to be over that time. With my schedule, with that's right. No, I don't have a schedule anymore, do I?
So all right, so Pern's basically in no matter what. That's good.
That's it. I'm here.
So we'll start.
Yeah, you go, Pern.
I was going to say, we've just had a new NXT fix that's just been released, which fixes multiple issues. Restart your client now to get it.
Can't make me.
No, XP waste.
Yeah, right. I'll stick with the bugs. I can't stop the client for 5 seconds.
Not to purposely end the show on a bit of salt, but Hannah, if you're still there, I'd like to have your opinion on the whole Dimension of the Dam situation, if you don't mind.
Ah, yes.
Well, it won't be It won't be super salty for me, to be honest. I guess I should say that I was one of the 200 people who basically instantly died in that finale, thanks to the miasma issue. I basically ran somewhere, didn't know that I was in the miasma, and then was dead before I could react, and it sucked. But there's a lot of opinion out there that the event was a huge failure and that it should never happen again and all of this shit, and I completely disagree with that, to be honest. As I've talked about on previous shows, the qualifier was some of the most fun with the community that I've had in a long time. People like cooperating and working together and sharing resources in a way that you don't really see in RuneScape a lot. I mean, you see it somewhere, like people will give low-level players gold or something like that, but it was just literally everybody in Dimension of the Damned near the end of it, or even in the middle of it, was just like, does anybody need this rune two-hander I just got as a drop? And people were trading that kind of stuff. So personally, I felt like despite all the bugs, and there were a lot of bugs, and that really sucks, but honestly, I felt like the event was a good thing for the community, and I would personally love to see it come back and be fixed. I also think the other aspect of it is that it's honestly a great way to advertise the game, even though I don't think the stream obviously didn't go the way they wanted it to and might have not been the greatest example, but there were over 4,000 people watching that stream. There were over 600 people who logged in to the finale to participate in it.
There was 499, just for the record there, Hannah.
What?
That's a confirmed number.
Okay, there were over 600 logged in at the beginning. I guess those were probably some people cheating the system and logging in on multiple accounts, because unfortunately you were able to do that.
Unfortunately, there was over 50 that entered that didn't qualify.
Yeah, so there was, like I said, there was definitely a ton of problems, but I think the community participated, especially it was a month delayed and that many people showed up. Like, I wasn't even expecting that many people to show up, and the stream was actually pretty big, especially for an RS3 stream. So in my opinion, like, if this event wasn't so buggy, if there weren't so many delays, it would have been way better. So I honestly hope that they will continue development on this and do it again and have fixed these problems.
It's very nice to hear that you have such a happy opinion of it at the end. And it does remind me, before it actually started, there were actually people in the Falador area. They were trading away their rune, and even though it was a final and everyone was going to compete against each other, there were still people willing to give away their rune and help other people out, even though it was a competition like that. So there are some good points. I'm very glad to hear that you weren't completely against it at the end of the day.
I mean, I was definitely frustrated. Like, I can't deny that. Like, it was frustrating to have died the way I did, and that it panned out the way it did. But I also can't help but see the good. And like you were saying there, like, honestly, like with like 500 people standing there and everybody was all like trading stuff, it felt like being back in Falador in like 2006 before the GE came out. It was real cool to see.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I didn't say it at the time, but I gotta apologize, because when you first told me that you had died, I thought you were joking, because me and DX were making jokes about we'd died straight away, and all the people that I saw dying just instantly.
Hang on. I didn't make jokes about Hannah dying. No, I didn't make jokes about that at all. The first thing I was going that might have just been me, but the amount of people that were just getting knocked off straight away, it was.
I was watching. Go ahead.
It was horrible.
If you went out the north gate in Falador, you probably died.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. The miasma was right there, and I went out the north gate.
I watched like hundreds of people. Well, it looked like hundreds. Obviously, it wasn't. But
no, I think it was, actually. I think it was 200 who died basically instantly.
I think so, yeah.
It was crazy because, I was watching all perspectives, and I was looking at your perspective. It just made no sense. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, there was a slight lighting change, and then I was dead. It was supremely confusing.
The lightning change didn't happen until you were actually being hit by thousands of damage per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got me too, unfortunately. So, but next time, let's hope.
Yeah, I really do hope that they bring it back and make changes. Like, I would like to see skilling be way more prominent in that mode as a thing in the qualifier specifically. I think that would be a really good change, because I know people like Mage didn't have, enjoyed it a little bit, but didn't have a ton of fun because there wasn't like his favorite thing wasn't really offered there in any real way. So, changes to make skilling more important would be cool in my opinion. Also, like, I think having more boss-like monsters that spawn, things like that could make it even more interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement, and I hope that they continue to improve it rather than, get shy and run away from these types of things, because there was a lot of feedback where people were like, stop wasting time on this, I can't believe you wasted time on this, make actual content, yada yada yada. But like, this is just as valid as regular content, in my opinion. Them doing stuff like this is goodwill to the community, and
there was also
these types of events aren't questioned in good times. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. There was also a lot of bullshit harassment of specific JMods, which is, I mean, it happens every time this happens, but I just want to say again that, like, this is just not right. Like, don't witch hunt a JMod because something went wrong. And especially the people who, like, why were people who don't play PVM making this content? Because, like, Mod Mohawk is a skiller who helped out this event. And it's like, you don't need to do PVM to necessarily make PVM content, especially this, which wasn't like endgame stuff. Like, that's not how programming works, and I don't think people really think about that when they criticize this stuff. The
one thing that I brought up during the initial discussion when that was to be said was my only question in regard to that is I'm a skiller and I'm not a programmer, but I understand programming theory and logic, and I used to be a programmer once upon a time. And yeah, I can definitely like program that stuff, but my grasp and understanding of the mechanics of combat are not great. And I think because of that lack of interest, just and passion into combat, would probably hinder my ability to create something that maybe somebody else with a passion and a better grasp would create. And I wonder, and this is my only wonder, is, was this something that she wanted to do, or did Jagex say, you're making this? That's really the only thing I want to know, because I think passion is really important, and people should be kind of, put on projects that they are passionate about, lest we might, end up with content that is half-baked.
I mean, I can understand what you're trying to say there, but I also think that part of what happened here, like, if the entire team was skillers only, then there would have been a problem, right? But, like, they had PVM people involved in designing this, so you can't just say, like, oh, it was failed because there
I don't know
who making it.
I honestly don't know who made it, except who was front facing, being Salen, who's a microtransaction creator, and I believe
it was made by the live events team primarily. I think Mod Pi helped with some of the balancing, from what I understand, and he's pretty combat focused. Isn't it? I'm not sure about that.
If it did, I'd like to know whose project it started as, because I thought I know it started as being worked on in Tap Time, but I don't know if it was anyone's specific passion project or how this actually came about. And I think it would, if anything, it would be interesting for just kind of the history of this event, to know exactly where it came from and, who worked on it, so we can get a better idea of maybe, why it is the way it is, and how it could, how we can learn from that and possibly improve on it in the future. But obviously that's not the direction that anyone was trying to make, or take on the forums and Reddit. Like, people are just trying to go after people for the sake of going after them, and that's not right. That's obviously not right. But I don't know. That's the one point that we brought up on the show in question to anyone's ability, and not even anyone's really ability, but just like who they put on the project. Was it a good fit for what the project was supposed to be? And that doesn't make it the JMod's fault. It makes it if it haven't got to point fingers at all, team management is really who's quote unquote fault, and I don't think fault is the right word, but like if anything, it's the responsibility of the team manager to put the correct people on a project to, you know, create said project. And I'm just curious to know who was on the team, because it sounds like it's a live events team. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, to me, like, there weren't actually any issues with the combat specifically. Like, all the bugs weren't really... I mean, like, there were spawn rate issues, but that's not necessarily... It's not, like, you're not going to know that the spawn rate's broken if you're good at combat, right? Like, that's something that can be completely controlled outside of combat. And the same thing with, like, the finale and the server having already run its
that wasn't
course.
That's almost like a... I'm not blaming QA, but that is like almost like a technical QA issue that they couldn't have seen coming, really.
Yeah, and so like to me, like if you look at the biggest bugs in this thing, they weren't related to combat. The combat was fleshed out from the beginning, as far as I can tell. I mean, it could have been more challenging, sure, but that wasn't really the point of this mode. It was a zombie horde mode, you know. But like, yeah, so I mean, I think like especially like why I think that people like Mohawk could work on it is that like 90% of this thing wasn't even making combat. It was like putting in character models and like outlining stuff like the miasma and how that's going to work, and like coming up with the drops that you're going to have, and all that stuff doesn't require combat knowledge. The only thing that requires combat knowledge is directly when you're fighting the monsters specifically.
Fair. That's fair. Excuse me. Oh, getting some chest pain. But yeah. I think overall it was a worthy endeavor. Like, it definitely wasn't going to go off without problems. That just it had literally it had never been tested before. Yeah. It's like Gen 1. It's always Gen 1 of anything software is going to have problems. It's just to be expected.
Well, and it's funny because people rag on Jagex a lot for the bugs, and it's definitely been a buggy year. But it's funny to me because you know, we had the release of iOS 11 this year, and there were 2 really silly bugs in that version release. One of them was, I think, like if you added like 1 + 2 in the calculator, it broke something and didn't actually like do the math properly, which is like that's a very easy thing to unit test for. And the other bug was that there was an issue where the letter I on the iPhone was just being replaced with like a weird emoji symbol. Both of those bugs should have been caught in QA. Apple is the biggest company in the world, and I kind of list that as an example that like even the biggest company in the world with the most amount of money possible in the bank can miss quote unquote simple bugs. So it's not a surprise to me that, you know, an indie dev like Jagex also has that issue.
Yeah, I saw a really funny thing just in regards to the crazy ways you can break systems, where somebody used an emoji in their bank description title in their bank, and it apparently crashed the bank's entire SQL databases. Just their entire back end went down, and the entire bank had to shut down for like a day or something. I don't know how long it took them to restore, but that's just like you don't think about those types of things. Like one single customer brought their entire business down because nobody tested, you know, a failsafe if somebody put an emoji in or something like that to default to, you know, just Unicode or whatever. I don't know what the constraints are, but point being, it's so easy to just break something.
And the last point I want to make is, like, I know I said this, but honestly, this is a good way to advertise the game, and I want to reassert that because there's a lot of call in the community like, Jagex, why don't you advertise more, blah blah blah, and like Twitch is a good platform to boost the advertisement of your game on. I mean, you could argue that a lot of the success that old school RuneScape sees is because it is so popular on that platform. That helps it, at least, you know, partially. It helps it stick in the mind of people. So, like, I think that's why Jagex tried to do this, was to promote the game and advertise more. And people, you know, they're the same people who would say, Jagex, advertise more, or then like, Jagex, why did you waste time, dev time on this event? And it's like, well, because it's a way to advertise.
Yeah, right.
That's what annoyed me. That's one. We saw one post a couple of days before Dimension of the Damned was actually even released, going on about what a waste of time. You know, you're making this for 1% of the players. You know, carrying on about it, and Mod Shawnee coming and just really, you know, it was good to see him actually just stand up and say, "Hey, pull your head in. You know, you don't know how many people this is going interest. This is, you know, we've made something different, and you know, really." really backed up his team on that, which I thought was really good. And that's exactly it. I mean, that they make content for small members of the community, but this is something that I think, long term will spread out more as, once they do iron out bugs, and I really do hope they bring it back again, because I will probably try it out next time, knowing that they would have fixed a lot of the issues. And as you said, if it's on the Twitch stream and all that, it will bring a lot of people, a lot of interest of people who don't normally watch, they don't watch RuneScape things, but if you see something, everyone loves zombies. And that type of sort of, live or die type gaming thing. And as you said, great advertising.
Well, especially it comes down to as well that to me the brilliant part about Match of the Damned is that it's not a PvP event. We have Dead Man mode in Old School RuneScape, and that makes sense. Old School RuneScape has a huge PvP community. RS3 does not have that. There was a lot of people who were calling out oh, you just need to make Darkscape seasonal, and that's what you should do. And it's there's a reason Darkscape died, and that's because it wasn't popular, because PvP is not popular in this game. And trying to instead appeal to the PVM community is, in my opinion, brilliant. Like I said, there were a ton of bugs, more bugs than there should have been, but that can be solved in version 2. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I don't think I have anything else to add.
And I'm really glad to hear that, because for someone who did get affected heavily by the issue of insta dying when you're logged in, for you to still have those sort of thoughts, common sense thoughts, that's really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you had asked me right after I died, I would have been I was salty as hell. But
of course, yeah.
I don't blame you.
Give it a day or two, and my opinion matures.
Like a fine wine. Anyway. Any other topics or anything else anyone wants to discuss?
Not for me. I've got 750k go to get 120 Slayer.
Nice.
Very nice. Early congratulations.
Thank you.
I just released the Patreon pre-show where you all were talking about Dimension of the Damned. So that's now available to patrons of all levels today. You can hear the pre-show is 48 minutes and 55 seconds. And
I do apologize
in advance
to a certain community out there. It was a joke. It was a joke. Didn't realize we were actually recording.
Don't worry. There's only 2 people to listen to the pre-show. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for the show. I appreciate you taking the vocal stress off of me for the most part and allowing this show to go as long as it did.
Anytime. And if next week, obviously, just coming out of your procedure and such, if you need me to step in again, just let me know. I will always be happy to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully next week goes pretty well there, but it could be as simple as take this additional medication and you're good to go in a few days, or it could be you need surgery now. I don't know, so we'll find out. But anyway, in the meantime, you can join us on Discord. We have a Discord available for you. Discord.runeweek.com is the link to get into our Discord channel. We have plenty of social media if you want to check out when we're going live, or what's going on with the show or RuneScape in general. You can check us out on Facebook. We got a Facebook page, facebook.com/RSWeekly. We're also on Twitter at RSWeekly. And we got an in-game clan available for you as well if you want to join or join as a guest. Both are available to you. Clan chat is Kill Skill N Chill. Gets Kill Skill, the letter N Chill. You can check out our clan rankings on clan.runeweek.com for our Rune Clan rankings. And if, again, as I was just mentioning, we had a Patreon if you want to help us out. I just posted a 48-minute pre-show available for you there. Patrons of all pledges are get access to the pre-show. You can check that out at patreon.com/RuneScape. And if you want to tip us during the show, you can do so at tip.runeweek.com. Big special thanks to our Patreon supporters, keeping the show and archives online. Really appreciate that. And we will be back. I am scheduled for a Sunday show. I'm going to try and do a Skill and Chill on Sunday, but there is no promises. I've been pretty out of it the past week So I apologize for that. I haven't really been keeping up with my streaming as of lately, and I'm sorry, but you know, it is what it is, and hopefully my health will be changing in the next couple of months, but I'm gonna still try to stream my scheduled streams, and we'll go from there. But again, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's going to be an extra long one. Coming up after this, if you want to stay tuned, is an escape shot that I did last week. It's a solo escape shot, so it might be a little dated on some of the information that we talk about. But if you're just looking for, you know, background noise or some, you know, some RuneScape chat, then enjoy. But that's going to do it for this episode of RuneScape Weekly. Happy scaping.